And all of our guests for sharing their stories. I know some of this stuff is not easy to talk about, you know, and probably a little difficult for some people to take, but we appreciate you guys sharing that with us. See you next time on Queen Latifah.
Tonight at 7:30, Jerry's dad throws out a wallet, unaware that Jerry put a lot of money in it, as a gift on Seinfeld. Now get set for the craziest courtroom around. Judge Joe Brown is coming up next on Fox.
This is Fox News on the Hour.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vernon Shaw in the Fox Newsroom. 3 people are dead and 7 injured after a blaze in the city's Port Richmond section. The fire swept through a 3-story house on Richmond Street around 8 o'clock this morning. No word yet on what caused the fire, and no, the victims' names have not been released. And 45-year-old Kim Qui-Vo will have an extradition trial this afternoon in New Jersey. She's the Upper Darby woman who allegedly beat her husband to death on Thanksgiving. Your Fox forecast calls for sunny skies, high today, 35 degrees.
He hit me with his car.
He had parking lot rage.
He said I should have ran your over.
Joe and an ornery old coot.
I blowed my horn twice at him.
What'd you tell him?
I told him to get your out of the road, or the next time I'll run over you.
Now, you're an angry old cuss over here, but that still didn't make it right.
Gary says Wayman ran over his 15-year-old son in a parking lot. He says what's worse is what drove Wayman to do it. He claims his son was a victim, not only in the path of an angry driver, but a racist. That's today on Judge Joe Brown.
He's a real judge. In his courtroom, everyone has the right to a fair trial. But if they're proven wrong, he has the right to make them pay. Judge Joe Brown.
Item number 314, Satchel versus Sappington. Would the party step forward, please?
Gary Satchel is a 43-year-old business owner from Aurora, Colorado. He is suing 61-year-old Wayman Sappington for harassment and harmful contact with a minor. Now, here's Judge Joe Brown.
Judge, Satchel versus Sappington, item 314.
Thank you, Miss Holly.
You're welcome.
Now, I've read everybody's submissions. You have police reports, a number of other things, some court records and such like, and basically you're saying that this gentleman here, the defendant, struck your son deliberately because he had parking lot rage. You're saying that the kids were taunting you and you didn't hit them. Okay, is your son here?
Yes, he is.
Come up here, young man. Why don't you take a stand and let's hear from you. You're under oath?
That's right, the chair.
Son, what's your name?
Gary Michael Satchel,
How old are you, young man?
16.
16. Now, what happened to you on this day?
Well, coming home from school, and I was walking through the King Super parking lot. That's when I see my friend Cameron, so I caught up with them, and we started walking towards King Supers because he said he was going to stop in there. And this red car pulled up behind me. It was honking his horn, so I tried to move out the way, and I guess didn't move away fast enough, and he hit me with his car. And I
Is that all there is to it?
Well,
Why do you say it's not just a plain accident? You say anything to you?
yes, he rolled down his window after everything happened, and he said I should have ran your black over, and I hate. Then he drove off.
That's him.
Yes.
Now, I take it your son has a particular medical problem.
Yes, he does. But 7 of 98, he had an aneurysm. And
He had a stroke.
yes, a stroke.
Was he in therapy?
He's in therapy now. He's in therapy then. He's in constant therapy. I have records here.
And I'll ask you for that in a moment. Okay.
All right.
Did you guys say anything to him when you were walking through the lot?
No, sir.
Did you hear him honking at you?
Yes.
Why didn't you move?
We was. We were walking, like, in the middle of the parking lot, right? We were walking and stuff, and then the car pulled up behind me, honking his horn, so I was moving out the way. And that's when he drove up and hit me. That's, yeah.
How hard?
Well, when he hit me, I felt the pain in my back leg right here.
He just bumped you, or did he ram into you at some considerable speed?
He ran into me so hard that I ended up on top of his hood.
Okay, did he get any medical injuries off of that?
No, he didn't. When I came over there, he was okay. I checked him out myself, and then I didn't see any physical. He said his leg hurt for a second, but it went away. I said, fine, I'm just glad you're okay. Then when we got home, about a few hours later, he started having headaches. And then I said, well, how hard did you jerk when you fell back like that and caught yourself on his hood? And then I said, well, no, we got to go take him down. We took him to the place where he had his surgery.
Okay, that's for the aneurysm and the therapy on the stroke.
Exactly.
Okay, now you have a witness. You step down, young man, you come up here and you tell me who you are. All right, young man, what's your name?
Cameron Coker.
How old are you?
I'm 15, sir.
You two friends?
Yes, sir.
Were you there?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you saw.
We were walking down in the parking lot in Safeway or King Soopers, and we were walking, and he pulled up behind us and honked his horn, and we started moving to the side, and he hit us, or hit my friend, his right leg and the back of his leg, and he fell back on his hood.
Did you hear any honking before this happened?
Yes, I heard honking, and then...
For how long?
Honked once or twice.
You say anything to the defendant over here?
Mm-mm.
He say anything to you?
I'm not sure if he was addressing it to me, but he did say something to my friend.
Same thing he said?
Mm-hmm.
You step down and I may call you two back up. Now, obviously you are giving some disagreement by the look you're giving me. What happened? Your version of facts.
Well, I pulled into the parking lot drive going up. It's the main drive, two-lane drive. And these boys had just walked off of the grassy area onto the street. And they stayed right in the path of my car and kept walking. And I went about probably 50 feet with my foot on the brake, stopping occasionally for them to, you know, and they just kept walking. Did not get out of the way. Didn't make any attempt to get out of the way.
You honk your horn?
I blowed my horn twice at them, and they both turned around and went over this way, which would have cleared my car, and I could have went on down through. And then the one boy that was on the stand there,
first
Gary,
or the second?
Gary, the first one, he turned around, looked, and smiled, and stepped back in front of my car and kept walking. The other boy, he didn't. He stayed out where I could have went around had Gary not have been in the way. We went about another 25 or 30 feet. I blowed the horn again, and then they moved off to the side, and I did pull up beside him, rolled the window down, and proceeded to tell him what I thought of him.
What'd you tell him?
I told him to get your out of the road, or the next time I'll run over your... There was nothing mentioned about black or nothing. He did not fall on the hood of my car. I didn't touch him with my car at all.
You remember giving a police report?
Yes, I did.
Officer charged you with harassment, harmful, painful, offensive contact, disorderly conduct, abusive language, and threats creating a danger of violence. That's what you got charged with, right?
Right.
You pled guilty to that, right?
Lesser charge, sir, Your Honor.
What was the lesser charge?
I don't know. I have the paperwork right here.
Well, I do too, but you tell me.
Well, I don't remember what the lesser charge was. I think it was just...
yeah, you pled guilty on 62899 to harassment, harmful, and offensive contact. Also to disorderly conduct and abuse. That's what you pled guilty to.
Yes, Your Honor.
City of Aurora Municipal Court gave a police report. These damn black kids. They're lucky I didn't run them down.
That's
the fourth time in 3 weeks that this same thing has happened. Yeah, I threatened to hit them. I was mad as hell. They had refused to move out of the roadway, as you said. You used the term, some black kids riding their bikes in the streets, and they refused to move out of the roadway to allow you to pass. Reference to that, you stated I was tempted to just floor it and say it was an accident.
We'll be back with more of Judge Joe Brown after this.
I have a very stressful job, Your Honor.
You have a very stressful job. You got any kids?
Yes, I do.
Get on your nerves?
No. At least they know enough to stay out of the street.
There you go.
And later today,
You don't even want to pay for the funeral? Well, what do you think's going to pay for it? What kind of little twerp are you that you don't understand hard reality? What's your problem? Mr. Gecko.
This is my final plea. I am a gecko, not to be confused with Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At Geico Auto Insurance, we handle your claim quickly, so you don't have to bum a ride to work. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Here's a big idea from the Doughboy. Introducing new Grand's Crescent Rolls.
Can you pass the dinner rolls?
Sure. Oh, whoa.
Wow.
So surprisingly big.
I'll take one.
Sure.
Me too.
Sure.
So rich and buttery tasting. New Grand's Crescents make an everyday dinner grand.
Can we have them again tomorrow? Please.
Sure.
Sure. Sure.
Swift Transportation needs drivers. Burlington Motor Carriers needs drivers. And where do the country's finest trucking companies find their new drivers?
Allstate, Allstate, Allstate Career.
For over 15 years, our graduates have been earning top pay at the nation's finest trucking companies.
Thanks to my training at Allstate, I've got a great job, I get to travel a lot, and I get paid well.
Find out how you can get started on a great paying career with one of the nation's finest trucking companies. Call Allstate Career now.
Get ready, Pennsylvania and New Jersey. This weekend, it's the sale of the century. PlayStation and N64 games, $10. Motorola Pagers, $10. OmniPoint digital phones, free. CD players, $19. Car CD players, $39. Detachable face car stereos, $19. 200-watt currency kickers, $19. Clothing, watches, perfume, jewelry, sunglasses, to 70% off. Thousands of toys, even Pokemon and Beanie Baby. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 locations. Valley Forge Convention Center and the South Jersey Expo Center in Pennsauken.
Been injured in an auto accident? Concerned and confused about your legal rights? Call attorney Steven Savard 24 hours a day. He'll return your call personally for a free legal consultation. Attorney Steven Savard co-counsels with experienced attorneys who will help you get paid money for your pain and suffering, even if the auto accident involves an uninsured motorist. And there's no fee until you settle. For slip and fall, auto accident, or serious injury from malpractice, call attorney Steven Savard. That's S-A-V-A-R today. Now it's easy to talk to an attorney.
Call 928-4000.
Hey, did I grow yet? Am I taller? Nope. Are you sure? Mm-hmm. I better eat some more Kix.
Now Kix is a good source of calcium, as much calcium as the milk you pour on it. Kids need all they can get during the years when pediatricians say bones grow the most.
Anything now? I think a couple of centimeters. I thought so.
Kix, with more calcium than any leading kid cereal. Kid tested, mother approved.
Tuesday at a special time, has Sabrina's Melissa Joan Hart cursed that 70s show?
Eric Foreman's first suspension.
I'm so proud.
Then a new love. It was meant to be. And a tragic event that could take 2 lives. An all-new party of 5.
It all starts tonight at 8 on Fox Philadelphia.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiff in this case is suing on behalf of his son. He claims the defendant had racial motivations when he used his car to ram his son. The defendant says it wasn't about race. It was about the defendant's son taunting him. Let's take a look.
He went on to advise him that they had refused to move out of the roadway, as you said. Yeah, I threatened to hit them. I was mad as hell. A little angry there, aren't you?
Well, when it happens 3 and 4 times a day with me when I'm on the street, it does get aggravating.
3 or 4 times a day?
Yes, it does. It's very bad in Aurora.
Why does this happen to you?
I have no idea. It don't only happen to me because I mentioned it to the officers, and they said it happens to us when we're in our plain car, and I asked them, I said, where's our recourses? They said, we don't have any. It's not just black kids, it's all kids nowadays.
Oh, but you can't sit there and do what you did, and you entered a plea of guilty to this harmful or offensive contact. Do you have any problems with controlling your anger, sir?
No.
Is this the first time this is happening?
Well, yeah. I'd have been here a long time ago if it hadn't been the first time it happened.
It's a strange way of putting that. You're in your 60s, right?
Right.
Getting intolerant at this point in time, right?
I have a very stressful job, Your Honor.
You have a very stressful job. You got any kids?
Yes, I do.
Grandchildren?
Yes, I do.
Get on your nerves?
No.
Not like that?
Not like that.
Kids ought to behave in a certain kind of way,
Absolutely.
Right? Not get out of line. It gets downright aggravating when you get to the mall and they run over you and act like you're not standing there.
At least they know enough to stay out of the street.
There you go. I imagine you said quite a mouthful out there to these young lads, and I got a sneaking suspicion, too, considering what I have seen from time to time, that you two thought it was cute to stay in the middle of that roadway. Stand up. I'm talking to both of you, because both of you, I have a sneaking suspicion, were out there getting your jollies off of holding somebody up. You're having a little fun. Now, you're an angry old cuss over here. You've had all you can take. I hope you feel better. Do you?
I do, Your Honor.
Well,
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry this incident
I
even
understand.
happened.
So what's going to happen here is when you get a chance to feel better, quite often you have to pay for your entertainment. Go to the movie, you got to pay the price of admissions, the satisfaction cost. So you're going to pay this time. Now, we don't have any extensive injuries. We have a previous condition here, which was the stroke your son suffered from. He apparently was recovering from that. There's at least $1 worth of actual damages. That's worth the time and trouble of you saying, ouch. And I'm going to give you $2,499 in punitive. So your net recovery is going to be $2,500. Don't you dare do this again.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judgment to the plaintiff, $2,500.
Court is in recess.
All right.
Let me first get your reaction to what the judge had to say.
I believe the judge was fair, and that you just can't go hitting kids in the parking lot, regardless of how bad you feel or what they're doing. You can't use your vehicle to make a statement like that.
Well, let me get your response to that then.
I don't see how the judge feels that it's right to reward a kid for misbehaving by awarding him money.
You had some pretty strong language in there.
I'm very angry after that. I mean, this is...
Why were you so angry?
This has happened to me 3 times. I'm a very busy person, and I don't have...
But this could have cost you a lot of money.
I realize that, and I'm very sorry that it even happened.
Lesson from this.
Right, yes. Think before you act.
And now we're on to the next case.
Item number 332, Dodson versus Kalunga. Would the party step forward, please?
Harold Dotson is a 39-year-old mechanic from Mesquite, Texas. He is suing 28-year-old bill collector Dennis Kalunga for the cost of a funeral.
Thank you, Miss Holly. My condolences to all 3 of you. You lost your wife, you lost your sister-in-law, you lost your sister, and now we're here arguing about funeral expenses. Let's see, sir, it seems that you loaned some money to provide the casket for the funeral.
No, sir, I paid for the whole funeral.
You paid for the whole funeral?
Yes, sir.
Year before, you'd paid for the funeral for your
Her mother.
Mother-in-law?
Yes, sir. I paid for the whole funeral on it.
Okay, now the defendant hasn't paid you back, you say?
No, sir, he has not paid me nothing. He would not even buy a casket wreath.
You say you didn't have any money?
Right. What I'm contending is that the reason I did not pay for the funeral is because they decided that they were going to pay for it. We never asked them to pay for it.
Well, who's going to pay for it?
Well, they had the insurance money. They got her life insurance, and I did not get the life insurance.
Life insurance didn't go to them. It went to her nephew, who would stand up. Stand up.
I have a document on it.
Your son?
My son.
Okay, I understand that. That's neither here nor there. So why haven't you paid?
Well, the reason, like I said, is because they actually decided to pay for it. It was not my decision. They actually made the decision to pay for it. And like I was going to say, they stepped in and did that. I never asked them to do that.
Whose wife was it?
It was my wife. But see,
how long have you been married?
We've been married 2 months.
And let's see, to make a long story short, she's 31 years of age.
Right.
Tragically, she died of complications from surgery that were unexpected.
Judge Joe Brown continues after this.
Now, I would suggest to you that you go look in a mirror and think about any fantasy you have ever had about being a man instead of coming in here being this kind of low-down, lousy little twerp.
Closed captioning sponsored in part by
1-800-US-SEARCH. Locate a long-lost friend or family member.
Find anyone right now. Call 1-800-US-SEARCH.
I'll be right back with your new low Geico rate. Great. I can save you over $250.
Every week, 10,000 drivers switch their car insurance to Geico. We take all the necessary precautions. Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Busy day. What?
You didn't go shopping when you were a size 22. Now I can experiment more with dresses. I never used to wear dresses. On the LA Weight Loss program, I lost 69 pounds in 26 weeks.
With LA Weight Loss, your life can be fun again.
Well, I lost 220 pounds. I have more energy now than I ever had.
The LA Weight Loss program was simple and easy to follow.
Just look at this picture and look at me now.
Lose weight for the new year, only $4 a week. Call LA Weight Loss for your free consultation. 1-800-526-SLIM.
Hurt in a catastrophe? Let me tell you straight out. I'm Alan Rothenberg, the injury lawyer, and I help the victims of every kind of tragedy, collisions, explosions, disasters, medical mistakes. I go after the biggest cash settlements, the highest awards, and maximum verdicts. It's that simple. If you want a lawyer like me, I'll talk to you free about what I can get for you. Fair enough? Call 1-800-624-8888, 1-800-624-8888.
Who's got the right to tell welfare moms to get off welfare and get a job? I'll tell you who. Me. I used to be on welfare. Now I work at this store. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, I was scared. But I did it. And if I can, you can.
Get a job and get control of your life. Call 215-567-JOBS and find out how.
Come on, you can do it.
Hey, what's on your mind for dinner? I'm thinking chicken with mushrooms and Swiss cheese.
Oh, yeah, but with a juicy steak on a bed of onion rings.
I got an idea.
Everyone's thinking Friendly's new savory portobello and Swiss dinners. A grilled chicken breast or tenderloin steak with Swiss cheese and mushrooms. Mmm. And with any dinner, get a Friendly's Jubilee Roll Sundae for 99 cents.
Not until you eat your dinner.
There's more to dinner at Friendly's.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiff in this case is suing his brother-in-law. The plaintiff says when the defendant's wife died, he paid for the funeral. The defendant says the plaintiff's family were the ones who received the insurance settlement. The defendant is countersuing for harassment. Let's take a look.
Now, who is your witness over here?
That's my brother.
You know anything about this?
Yes, I do.
Stand up. What do you know about it?
Well, like my brother said, they offered to pay for the funeral. The money did go to her son.
What has this insurance policy got to do with it?
If I would have gotten the insurance money, I would have paid for the
funeral.
funeral.
Well, you didn't get the insurance money.
Right, I realize that. But see, what I was going to say is that in her will, she put that all her worldly possessions were to go to me.
Well, then fine, you can probate the will and you'll get paid back. Right now, we need to take care of this funeral.
When
they
offered
went to pay for the funeral.
And when they paid for it, they actually didn't pay the whole cost because their credit card did not go through. According to the letter wrote by the funeral director,
we would have otherwise had her cremated.
Right.
But they insisted that she be buried by her mother in Paris, Texas.
Why didn't you act man enough to go make the arrangements for your wife's funeral?
Well, like I said, when they offered to do it, they never asked us to do that.
Okay, how much are you saying that he owes you?
From the funeral home
This is Fry Gibbs Funeral Home?
Yes, sir. $25,1289, sir.
And then we paid for the casket.
We bought the casket.
How much was the casket?
The casket was
$1,350, I believe.
$1,350. Let me see the proof on that one. Miss Holly, go get it for me,
That's
please.
all of it right there. That's everything we spent.
Okay, now, what's this over here? You have a counterclaim, let's see, for harassment, emotional distress. I have been dealing with the loss of my wife, Dana, and I have been constantly bothered by requests for her belongings and personal items. What are you going to do with them? Hold them up as a memento of your loss and your suffering when you don't even want to pay for the funeral?
But see, the thing is, though, they didn't actually pay for the funeral because I have a letter here stating from the funeral director where their credit card did not go through. I can show you this letter. We
What
have
do
the
you
letter
think's
right
gonna
here.
pay for it?
Well,
What kind
her
of little
insurance-
twerp are
her
you
ins-
that you
well,
don't
her
understand
insurance was
hard
supposed to pay for it.
reality?
Her
What's your
insurance is supposed to
problem?
pay for it.
What's your problem?
There is no problem. What I'm
What do
saying
you mean
is,
the insurance is going to pay for it? You were married to her for 2.5 years. Did you
Right,
take
but
out a
her-
life insurance policy on your wife?
She thought that her will, the money was going to my brother.
Well,
She
then you
says
take that will to a probate court, get it
She
probated.
died before it happened.
Well,
Right.
that's
She
too
was
bad.
gonna
You're
change
stuck with a
him to the
loss. And you know
beneficiary.
what you do? You go in and you go see the probate court, and if she has an estate, then you're
Right, and
entitled to the
also her-
husband's share. Does she have an estate?
her estate was her will. That was her will.
Well, then you go in and you see a probate court. You're going to pay for the funeral.
Next, the verdict on Judge Joe Brown.
If you have depression, you may already know that certain antidepressants can cause sexual side effects in some people. But here's something you may not know. Not all antidepressants are alike. Call now to find out about effective ways to treat depression that can help you get on with your life with minimal sexual side effects. You'll receive a free information kit that will give you the facts and your options. And it will help you discuss them with your doctor so you can find out what's right for you. You do have a choice. Sexual side effects don't have to be a part of treating depression, but you make the call. Call this number for your free kit or talk to your doctor and learn how you can help yourself and the one you love.
If you've been injured, put the power of a large, experienced law firm on your side. Members of your community have depended upon Stark & Stark for over 65 years. Call them at 1-800-INJURED for a free consultation with lawyers who care. They'll even meet with you in the hospital if necessary. And with Stark & Stark's no fee unless you win policy, you have nothing to lose. From auto accidents to work injuries, Stark & Stark is there for you when it matters most.
This holiday season, my good friend gave to me 6 Super 6 bottles, 5 cash files, 4 big 4s, 3 daily numbers, 2 instant games.
Happy holidays, Rita.
Thanks, Joe.
Great gift.
Pennsylvania lottery tickets make great gifts, like $1 million holiday gift. So give them to all the great people on your list.
Happy holidays.
And best wishes from the lottery.
Dick adopts an inmate.
I'd like you to meet our new friend, Eddie. He's a criminal. Boom!
Are they giving him a second chance?
Okay, bend over.
Or the third degree?
He's got a knife! Put down the knife. You don't want to do this.
Next, third back.
I don't want to cut the chicken.
Tonight at 6 on Fox Philadelphia.
Having family problems? Call 1-877-JOE's Law.
I hate this kind of indecency. This is disgusting. You sit up here and you submitted all these nice, loving pictures of you and your bride at the wedding 2.5 months before. The relatives, the in-laws, had to do what you as a man ought to have done. They put up money for the casket. They've shown that to me. They put up the money for the funeral.
But they didn't actually
$25,1289. Be quiet. They're still obligated for it. Their signature is down on a contract. They're going to get stuck with this. $25,1289. They paid for the funeral arrangements. $13.50 for the casket. That's $38.6289. That'll go to the funeral home to get you out from under it. And I would suggest to you that you go look in a mirror and think about any fantasy you have ever had about being a man and get yourself enough courage to act like it instead of coming in here being this kind of low-down, lousy little twerp. Get out of my face. Get out of here.
Recess. Folks, step out the door and to your right.
I didn't even say
Go ahead, guys. You can go first.
Now, the defendant did a lot of harping on an insurance settlement, claiming that since he didn't get any money from that, he shouldn't have to pay for his wife's funeral. The judge strongly disagrees, admonishing the defendant for not taking any responsibilities for the services. And as a husband, we'll find out what the litigants have to say after this.
I woke up to having him on my back with scissors cutting off my hair.
Like a woman with short hair.
You were dominating this girl.
A passion for justice. Judge Joe Brown.
Ugh, that residue can't be sanitary.
You need new Jet Dry. See? No spots, no residue, sanitary.
New Jet Dry for sanitary dishes.
I should have used Preparation H.
It helps stop itch and irritation with a soothing layer of protection.
I should have used Preparation H.
The credit you need has been hard to get. So call Sterling Bank and Trust for your guaranteed Visa or MasterCard. And we'll put the credit card you deserve right where you need it, now.
How cool is the crisp, refreshing taste of new Cool Mint Chloraseptic Sore Throat Spray?
Whew, very cool.
Did you feel any responsibility when he came to you and said, I'm going to take this cost for the funeral? Did you say, okay, I'll pay for part?
What I didn't get a chance to say in the courtroom was, we never signed a contract saying that I had to pay him back. Even the funeral director gave me a letter saying that they didn't pay for it on their credit card. It didn't go through on their credit card. It was a sham.
Did you offer to pay?
He refused, and I told them I would take care of it if he didn't.
So we had no other choice. And my husband, out of the kindness of his heart, did that because he did not want me or our kids or my family to suffer anymore.
She hit me right in my cheek. I have pictures to prove it. I did not lay my hand on her.
Now, both of you ought to act like ladies.
Joe plays referee.
Seems like you two guys got caught in the middle of a cat fight. I'm bigger than all of you. You want me to come stand down there and keep you quiet? Now, I'm not going to give you one cotton-picking dime.
Hairstylist Judy and Andrea can't stand each other. Judy says Andrea got her fired from the salon where they worked. That's what led to a fight in a restaurant parking lot where Judy claims Andrea's boyfriend held her in a chokehold. That's today on Judge Joe Brown.
He's a real judge. In his courtroom, everyone has the right to a fair trial. But if they're proven wrong, he has the right to make them pay. Judge Joe Brown.
Item number 95, Littlemeyer versus Sayula. Would the party step forward, please?
The plaintiff in this case is Judy Littlemeyer. She's a 33-year-old hairstylist from Torrance, California. She is suing 28-year-old graphic designer Jose Sayula for medical bills resulting from an assault. Jose is countersuing for emotional distress. Now here's Judge Joe Brown.
Judge, this is Littlemeyer versus Sayula, item number 95.
Thank you, Miss Holly. Ma'am, you say he assaulted you, caused you pain and suffering, medical bills, and lost wages. And you're counterclaiming against the plaintiff, Mr. Sayula, and you're saying that she caused you pain and suffering, defamation of character, emotional distress, and basically you were defending yourself against an assault that she committed. Is that correct?
I wasn't defending myself. I was defending my girlfriend, Your Honor, when the plaintiff assaulted my girlfriend.
That's in your presence, all right.
Yes.
You say in your complaint, a week prior to the assault, we had an incident at work. Who is we?
The defendant's girlfriend and I
That's
used to be...
this lady over here?
used to be ex...
Well, you're being talked about. Come on, stand next to the defendant.
Used to be ex-co-workers, and also...
You two work together?
We used to work together, and we were pretty much acquainted with each other. Also, we used to be friends, and she had also come into my home and was introduced to my children and with my fiancé.
That's the gentleman over here?
Yes.
You come on up since you're getting talked to.
And,
now, I'm looking at what you put here in the complaint. What led up to the assault is as follows. Miss Nicole here was a co-worker of yours. A week prior to this, you had an incident at work. She was being rude to one of her customers and yourself. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, you took her aside and confronted her. And then you say that she and another co-worker spoke to management, falsely accused you of assault.
Correct, Your Honor.
Then you got terminated the day after. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, now, why don't you tell me about the first incident? What's that all about?
I was cutting a customer's hair when she came and interrupted our conversation, and I had asked her to move, and she would not move. And everybody, my co-workers saw that because she had been in confrontation with me before. So when I asked her to move a second time, and that's when she told me off, and after she left, she came back and called me all kinds of very bad names, and then she assaulted me. She gouged my face, and she told me, "You won't go outside and fight with me." She called me a coward, and that was when my other co-worker pulled me away from her.
She challenged you to a fight?
Yes, she did.
She laid hands on you?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
Did you make a complaint to management?
Yes, I did.
Now, what do you have to say about that?
Well, as far as assaulting, I did not lay my hand on her at all. I only acted on what she had did in front of her customer and myself. And I thought that was a very inappropriate behavior. So all I did was confronted her and told her she was wrong. If she had a problem with me, she should have just came to me.
You confronted her?
Correct.
Now, you say you confronted her again on March 19th.
Now, on March 19th, 98.
Let me read this to you that you put down, and you tell me about it. 1 week later, I went with my boyfriend for happy hour. It was about 5:30. I happened to turn and see the defendant and my co-worker seated about 5 feet away. Now, this is what I'm intrigued about. You say, quote, I wanted to approach them in a quiet and gentle way and speak my mind about what happened.
Exactly, Your Honor, because of the fact that she had told and lied to management and said that I assaulted her and threatened her. So I had to approach her and tell her, how could you do such a thing, you know, to sit there and say I threatened you and you were scared of me. How can you sit 5 feet away from me?
Now, here's
and she says to me, she says, oh, you're just mad because you got terminated.
You then say Nicole stepped away from their table and, quote, I approached the defendant to apologize again, and he insulted me.
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
Feeling very uncomfortable, we were getting ready to leave when I noticed one of the waitresses looking our way. I wondered if the defendant was trying to get us kicked out of the restaurant. I went to the restaurant to wash my hands and saw Nicole on the phone. She informed me that she had a police officer on the phone. As my boyfriend and I walked toward the front door, I had a premonition of danger. They were following us, and once we got outside the door, there was a verbal exchange, and we headed for the car. Now, what's your version of what happened at the table?
She came over and threatened us. She did not walk there nicely.
I did not threaten her, Your Honor.
She wore a biker short. She put her hand on her table, and she says, I'm going to kick your ass. Oh. Your Honor, she did. And she repeatedly come. I had the waitress walk me to the restroom, to use the restroom.
Okay, so you go to the restroom, you wind up not using it because of the long line.
Yes.
You call the police.
Yes.
Why?
Because I had fear for her. So when I was on the phone, she struck me from behind. And the officer said that they cannot send a unit out. We would have to go over there. We have the police report.
You're saying she hit you while you were on the phone?
Yes. And then when I turned around, she socked me. And nobody helped me.
She hit you in the back of the head.
And
where did she hit you when you turn around?
She hit me right in my cheek. I have pictures to prove it.
Okay, now, what happens after you get hit in the cheek?
Jose came over. He walked by, and he was the one who talked with the police officer on the phone.
Okay, what do you do at this point after you talk to the police?
After she assaulted my girlfriend on the phone, I had repeatedly gone over to her boyfriend after she came over repeatedly trying to threaten my
How many times did she come to your table?
Maybe 4 times.
Oh,
I went over to her boyfriend, Chuck. Why don't you control Judy? Control her. You know what this guy said? It's between women. Let them handle it.
Okay, now, let me check with you. What happened from what you saw? She got up from your table.
Right.
She went over to their table. She returned.
It was very tame.
She returned to your table. She got up, went over there again. She came back. She got up a third time, goes to the restroom.
The restroom, right.
All right? She comes back, sits down at the table with you.
And then he approaches us.
Okay, then he approaches you.
Exactly.
What does he say to you?
He's asking her about her age. He goes, are you really, what are you doing this? Why are you talking this way?
I asked her, Judy, how old are you? I said, well, act your age.
That's not what he said.
At the phone, she assaulted my girlfriend.
Hey, just your boyfriend just said he asked you how old you were.
That's not what he said.
No,
he asked you why were you doing this?
What he said is, how old are you? And I said, you don't ask a woman their age.
What is that, her
and
answer?
Well, I see why I did it, act your age, but your boyfriend just verified that he was asking you why you're acting like this. Now, all right, I'm just a little concerned. The waitress is looking at you like she's going to throw you out, or he had asked you to be thrown out of the restaurant. They were following us, and once we got outside the door, there was a verbal exchange, and we headed for the car. A few seconds later, Nicole was banging on the car window. Is that what you saw?
Exactly.
Did you bang on the window?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
Yes, you did.
Yes, she did.
What
3
happened?
times. Told me, get out the car, you FB. The cops are on their way.
The cops are on their way.
That's what
Now,
she
you just
said.
told us that the cops wouldn't answer, and yet you're yelling at her, the cops are in the way.
Okay.
Which one's the truth?
All right, hold on. Forget that. I do that. You hold tight over there.
We'll be back with more Judge Joe Brown after this.
I had to come in and separate them, like I mentioned before, because her wimpy boyfriend would not hold her back.
Exactly. Seems like you two guys got caught in the middle of a cat fight.
Mr. Gecko. This is my final plea. I am a gecko, not to be confused with Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At Geico Auto Insurance, we handle your claim quickly, so you don't have to bum a ride to work. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Here's a big idea from the Doughboy. Introducing new Grand's Crescent Rolls.
Can you pass the dinner rolls?
Sure. Oh, whoa.
Wow.
So surprisingly big.
I'll take one.
Sure.
Me too.
Sure.
So rich and buttery tasting. New Grand's Crescents make an everyday dinner grand.
Can we have them again tomorrow, please?
Sure.
Sure. Sure.
This is my mom. Another perfect holiday. I was 7 and Mom was amazing. She always knew to make Chex Party Mix. The good stuff, all seasoned and toasted fresh from the oven. I ate it with both hands. So did my uncle. You know what's great about the holidays now? It's my turn to be Mom.
Thousands of accident victims have discovered the attorneys of Legal Options can get them a large settlement for pain and suffering. Call Legal Options now at 800-777-7774. And when you do, we will connect you to an attorney who is highly qualified to take your case and get the maximum settlement possible. Save yourself the headache of dealing with the insurance companies. Call Legal Options today at 800-777-7774.
I know. How about Barney's Christmas video? When I was a kid, I used to watch this every Christmas.
I want to watch Bonnie's new Christmas video.
Now you have your own Barney Christmas video, just like I did.
It's on DVD, too.
We're here at Tom's house, the one with a brand new satellite dish he got by calling Bell Atlantic Video. Let's watch as Tom takes his direct TV system for a test drive. There he goes. He's picking up the remote. He's clicking. Wow. Yes! Now he's taking control with his interactive program guide. Look at him navigate. With so many choices from DirecTV, he's finding some programs he couldn't even get from cable for about the monthly cost of cable. And boy, does he love that digital quality picture and sound. Bell Atlantic even installed an antenna for his local stations. Wow.
Order DirecTV now. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call Bell Atlantic Video toll-free at 1-800-399-4388. There's no equipment to buy. You can rent it all. And Bell Atlantic takes care of delivery and installation. DirecTV service from Bell Atlantic. Let us entertain you.
We had a one-night stand.
I'm not interested in one-night stand.
The whole thing's over. It's her.
Is she worth it?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge Judy Justice.
Today at 5 on Fox Philadelphia. It's a double dose of The Simpsons every weeknight on Fox.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The fight between co-workers lasted after the two women no longer worked together. The bad feelings turned into a physical fight at a restaurant, and now both sides are suing for damages. Let's listen in.
What happens from your recollection?
Her car was parked right in the front. Ours is right the next row over. I just walked over there, and she still calls me names. And she came after me, calling me names and being very, very confrontational. And I walked toward direction to my car, and this is when she striked me.
She attacked her a second time, Your Honor, at the restaurant.
No, I'm sorry, it didn't happen that way.
At the parking lot.
Excuse me. A few seconds later, Nicole was banging on my car window. I got out of the car and asked the defendant to contain his girlfriend. You asked him to contain his girlfriend.
Yes.
Nicole shoved me very hard.
No, Your Honor.
Yes, she did.
That's
Your
what
Honor.
you say.
Yes,
Some
she
punches
did.
were exchanged and I defended myself. The guys came between us and the defendant dragged me a distance and put me in a chokehold. It was really hurting and I cried out, "Let go, you're hurting me." I could hardly breathe and I screamed out again and his hold tightened. In desperation, I elbowed his ribs and he finally let go. I can only remember a big hit, falling to the ground and vaguely getting back up. I managed to get in the car, looked in the mirror and, quote, saw the horror of my altered state. Okay, now,
Your Honor,
what's your version of facts? And then you tell me what your version is.
she attacked me. She pulled me by the hair.
So what happened?
She fought back, Your Honor.
I fought back. Your Honor, I fought back.
Okay, now you say she attacked you
Yes, Your Honor.
and you fought back.
What happened is I defended myself because when she knocked on my window, not knocked, but banged, I got out of the car. They were standing behind my car. And her adrenaline was already pumped up, where she just and just shoved me 2 feet away, where I just defended myself after that. And all I knew is we were locked in hairs, and the two guys got us. I can remember hearing him grab her, meaning grab her girlfriend. And all I can remember is when we were...
He grabbed her and he grabbed you.
He had me, apparently. And
Your
when...
Honor.
And when,
Do you mind?
when we walked away...
Shut up.
Hold on, baby. Please.
I'm bigger than all of you.
Okay.
You want me to come stand down there and keep you quiet? Okay, very good. Now, let's get on with the story.
When we were broken apart from each other, the defendant grabbed me by the neck in a chokehold, not to contain me, but he was actually literally hurting me, where I told him, Your Honor, and I have the medical record report and pictures, I was gasping because of the fact that it was very firm on my neck. And I told him, let go, you're hurting me. And when I was trying to pull away because it was so firm, you know, I'm a very small person compared to him, all I know is it was hurting, and I said, Chuck, he's choking me. And as soon as I said Chuck, it got even firmer, and then it was like where I was gasping for air.
No.
And when that happened, Your Honor, all I can remember is I balled up my hands and just as hard as I can, just elbowed him from the ribs. And all I can remember is he released, and as I turned, I was hit on the head. And I can remember I was knocked out unconscious.
What do you say happened?
We walked out of the restaurant. We exchanged more words. She instantly assaulted my girlfriend. I had to come in and separate them, like I mentioned before, because her wimpy boyfriend would not hold her back.
Executive order.
I had to come in, yank her wrist off my girlfriend's hair. I grabbed her from the wrist, from her jacket, and yes, I did go to the shoulders, but I did not choke her. I pulled her away, and that's all that I did, Your Honor.
All right, now, what do you have pictures of? Let me take a look at those. Miss Holly, please. You have pictures, too? Let me see your pictures.
Sir, those pictures are of Nicole. They're of no consequence to this case. We're
Oh, yes,
discussing
they
him.
is.
We're not discussing her.
All right. This is you over here. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Seems like you two guys got caught in the middle of a cat fight.
Judge Joe Brown continues after this.
Two gentlemen out there trying to acting with some sense, and they get caught in the middle of two idiots going at each other. Now, what am I supposed to do? Reward you for your foolishness?
Closed captioning sponsored in part by 1-800-US-SEARCH. Locate a long-lost friend or family member. Find anyone right now. Call 1-800-US-SEARCH.
I'll be right back with your new low Geico rate. Great. I can save you over $250.
Every week, 10,000 drivers switch their car insurance to Geico. We take all the necessary precautions. Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Busy day.
What?
An important announcement for the parents of children with cerebral palsy.
I'm Larry Korn. We've investigated thousands of cerebral palsy cases. We have special resources and a physician attorney to review your case. Find out what really went wrong. For a free brochure on the 8 medical mistakes that cause cerebral palsy and a free case review for your child, call 1-888-4MY-CHILD today. It costs you nothing to find out the truth.
Hurt, look at me. It takes desire, diligence, and dedication to get you all the cash your case is worth. It takes me, Alan Rothenberg, the injury lawyer, 1-800-624-8888. I want to get you a huge amount of money and benefits, as much as the law can give out. Aren't you and your family worth Alan Rothenberg? Don't be satisfied with less. Call me at 1-800-624-8888. Alan Rothenberg, the injury lawyer, 1-800-624-8888.
This weekend, it's the sale of the century. Save on Alpine, Pioneer, JVC, Sony, Kenwood, Fosgate. More stereos, car stereos, and cell phones to 70% off. Motorola pagers, $10. Color TVs, $79. VCRs, $49. Satellite dishes, $49 with free movie. Hoover vacuums, $29. Leather jackets, $39. Calvin Klein, FUBU, Hilfiger, DKNY, Levi's, more clothing, jewelry, and perfume to 70% off. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 locations, the Valley Forge Convention Center and the South Jersey Expo Center.
Come on, Dad. You promised to ski with us. You're bumming us out, Dad.
Looks like you could use Halls. Only Halls has big for action. Breathe, my friend. Breathe. Breathe, my pasty friend.
Feeling better, Dad?
Well, I was. Get Halls and get going.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The defendant claims the plaintiff attacked his girlfriend in the parking lot of a Mexican restaurant, and he was defending her. The plaintiff claims she was assaulted by the defendant first. Let's listen in.
Let me see what your medicals say. Apparently, she states she's had an argument with someone, a female, and then her boyfriend apparently grabbed her, choked her, and threw her to the ground. She does not know how she got hit.
Because I didn't hit her, Your Honor.
I understand. These two were fighting. All right, you got a black eye and a busted lip. Classic injuries in a fight. Now, what happened to you over here? All right, let's see. Well, she got a bruised left eye, but you got a worse black eye. She got an abrasion on her right cheek. You got a split lip.
That's stitches.
Okay. And also, she got a bump on the back of the head. And it notes that it's interesting here, the police report notes that while the dispatcher was on the phone with her, she appeared to be undergoing an assault from what they heard through the telephone. Okay, I see bruising about the face. There are red marks on her cheek, swelling on her left eye. Seems that she got the best of it in terms of comparative injuries. It looks like what happened is the two of you were slugging it out. But now, let's get back to this whole thing here. Who is the aggressor? Looks like we had an affray going on, but you're suing him. The bottom line is that you can come to the defense of a third party as though it were yourself. You didn't hit her. She doesn't say you hit her. These injuries are because you two were going at it. You had hold of her hair. She probably popped you one. I don't know. You say you don't know about anybody hitting you.
Yes, I
You
did.
pulled her down. No, that's your police report. Now, you sit there. You tell the doctors you don't know what happened. You don't remember any blows. You remember him grabbing you. You remember waking up on the ground. Okay, he put a chokehold on you. He didn't hit you. The chokehold doesn't cause a bruised left eye. She got one too, but not as bad. It doesn't cause the busted lip because he doesn't hit you. Maybe she does.
No, she didn't.
She got a bruised right cheek in turn from the pictures over here. So it looks like you two finally got around to having it out with each other, but she has no reason for attacking you. Remember, you confronted her on the workplace. She complained. You got fired. She went through the appropriate administrative proceedings on her job. You lost your job. She's sitting there having dinner. You put it down. She's having dinner. She's not doing anything. She doesn't come see you. Why? Because she's got no axe to grind with you. You lost the gig. She didn't. You come back there after you intrude on their dinner, and you want to apologize to him, but you're worried about the workers in the place trying to throw you out. Why? because you're acting out of line. You know it. Meanwhile, we got a police report that everybody insisted I look at, and it says that while she's on the phone to the police, they hear a fracas. She says you hit her in the back of the head and then punched her in the face while she's on the telephone. Okay, now who am I supposed to believe? Everything you submit to me backs up what she's saying. Your boyfriend, your fiance backs up what she's saying. He says he asked you how old you were. Why? Why don't you act your age? Now, both of you ought to act like ladies. Maybe not you, but in any event, you certainly ought to. And you two quit acting like you got all this testosterone and attitude up in here.
Next, the verdict from Judge Joe Brown.
If you've been hurt by anything, a car accident, a fall, a doctor, a hospital, you may be entitled to a large cash award. To find out, call 1-800-LAWYERS right now. The call is free, the advice is free, and we stay open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're open New Year's Eve at midnight. So call 1-800-LAWYERS. We're there right now to answer all your questions absolutely free.
The best gifts for the holidays are at Kohl's 50% off sale. This Wednesday only save 50% on all men's sweaters, kids' character playwear, and on all boots for the family. Save 50% on all boxed cards and gift wrap, and on all Burns and Images frames. Plus save 60% on all fine jewelry. Shop all day and save 50% on these and hundreds of other items store-wide during Kohl's 50% off sale. This Wednesday only 7 a.m. till 11 p.m.
I always saw kids in TV commercials and thought, you know, my little Mary's just as cute as all those kids. I just didn't know where to begin. Then I heard about the Studio Network, and before I knew it, the agents were calling me. So if you think your child belongs on TV too, give the Studio Network a call. Oh, and by the way, say hello to our little Mary.
For complete details, call toll-free now. 1-877-749-STAR.
Hey, did I grow yet? Am I taller? Nope. Are you sure? Mm-hmm. I better eat some more Kix.
Now Kix is a good source of calcium, as much calcium as the milk you pour on it. Kids need all they can get during the years when pediatricians say bones grow the most.
Anything now? I think a couple of centimeters. I thought so.
Kix, with more calcium than any leading kid cereal. Kid tested, mother approved.
Tuesday at a special time, has Sabrina's Melissa Joan Hart cursed that 70s show?
Eric Foreman's first suspension.
I'm so proud! Then a new love. It was meant to be. And a tragic event that could take 2 lives. An all-new Party of 5.
It all starts tonight at 8 on Fox Philadelphia.
Do you need justice? Call 1-877-JOE's Law.
Okay, I think we've got it right here. If other than the fact that we've got a role reversal, this is the equivalent of punching it out behind the boys' gym, having a brawl out in front of the bar, letting it go at that. Nobody got any permanent injuries. You got a cut lip. You got stitches. You shouldn't have been continuously intruding on her. You attacked her at that point. You probably got provoked. But in any event, the two of you had an affray, a mutual combat. Neither one of you did much damage to each other. You're complaining about the boyfriend putting the chokehold on you, so you quit playing cat and fighting in the cat fight. 2 gentlemen out there trying to acting with some sense, and they get caught in the middle of 2 idiots going at each other. Now, what am I supposed to do? Reward you for your foolishness? Good gracious. You're supposed to say, let this be a part of the past that I have moved on beyond. Now, I'm not going to give you one cotton-picking dime for sitting here getting what you asked for. And I'm not going to give you anything you whipped her behind from the looks of things. You got deep off in it, so you ought to get that satisfaction for warming that head like it probably needed to get warmed, and maybe she'll get some of the foolishness out of it. So you won the fight. You got what you asked for. Both of you out of here.
Court is in recess. I need you to step out the door, too, right, please.
And the fight between these co-workers lasted long after they parted ways on the job. The judge had to decide today who was the aggressor, and the plaintiff admits that she confronted the defendant first. The judge says they probably both got it out of their systems. We'll see what the litigants have to say after this.
Joe
breaks up a family fight.
He spits in my face, he punches me in the mouth.
She thumped me on my back. Everybody blew their cool.
A passion for justice. Judge Joe Brown.
Ugh, that residue can't be sanitary. You need new Jet Dry. See? No spots, no residue. Sanitary.
New Jet Dry for sanitary dishes.
I should have used Preparation H.
It helps stop itch and irritation with a soothing layer of protection.
I should have used Preparation H.
The credit you need has been hard to get. So call Sterling Bank and Trust for your guaranteed Visa or MasterCard. And we'll put the credit card you deserve right where you need it now.
How cool is the crisp, refreshing taste of new Cool Mid Chloraseptic Sore Throat Spray?
Whew, very cool.
Does it end here?
He may again attack, and that's what I'm really worried about. And it was a very awful thing to experience with this person.
This girl is one of the persons that likes to agitate you, like a little rat that keeps poking you and poking you and poking you. And then when she gets the end result, she cries, she cries wolf.
What do you think about what the judge had to say, first of all, at the end there?
The previous two judges gave her the same whipping that she deserved today. We didn't get our counterclaim, but I think what the judge said is worth more than any money that we would have gotten otherwise.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to you both. That's going to do it for today's Judge Joe Brown.
This is Fox News on the Hour.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vernon Shaw in the Fox Newsroom. 3 people are dead and at least 7 injured after a fire ripped through an unlicensed boarding home in the city's Port Richmond section this morning. No word yet on what started the blaze. And the co-owners of a music store in Willingboro, New Jersey, were doing a mock robbery last night when one of them accidentally shot and killed the other. No charges have been filed. Your Fox forecast calls for sunny skies today, high 35 degrees.
In today's session of Divorce Court, Rita Wins was furious when her husband Eric had a one-night stand and got the other woman pregnant.
Girls were there. One thing led to another, and
ain't no one thing led to another. You laid up with somebody, took your little stuff out your pants and had sex.
Apparently something happened.
Your sperm got into her egg, they connected, and you conceived and had a baby. That's
true.
What happened.
That's true. But
Mr. Wins, close your mouth. Because the more you talk, the more you sound like a fool. Now shut up.
This should have been his first daughter. I found out a week ago that this is going to be his second daughter.
And now he wants to raise the baby in their house.
Did you discuss that with her?
No, he did
no,
not.
I didn't, y'all. I tried. She gave me an ultimatum. Either I accept the child and leave her, or I do not accept the child and I keep my family.
I can't raise this little girl and look at this little girl and know that she came from an affair, a one-night stand because he was drunk.
You can't bring this child and give the child love?
I cannot, not in my home.
Now Rita Wins and Eric Wins come to decide their future and the future of 2 unborn children in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Rita Wins versus Eric Wins. Ms. Wins, I am advised that although the two of you have dated for 4 years, the marriage has only been a year, and you're ready to end it.
Yes, I am.
What could have happened after you married?
He had a child from an affair that he never told me about.
Another child, and that's causing you to want to end the relationship with him?
We got married in September, and in October the child was born, and his sister and his cousins, they like to talk a lot, and they came to me and told me it could be his child. I put pieces and pieces together, and I tried to push the truth out of him as much as I could, and I got the truth out of him that it could be his child.
Could be. Never admitted that it was.
Never admitted that it was.
Yeah, maybe I can tell the story.
Well, maybe you can when I tell you to, but you can't now.
This should have been his first daughter. And I just found out a week ago that this is not going to be his first daughter, that this will be his second daughter. That's not fair to me.
So wait a minute now. Were you living with him when you weren't married to him?
Yes, I was.
So are you mad at the fact that he had an affair with someone else while he was dating you, and as a result of that, this child is born who now needs care? Or are you mad at the fact that he had a child by somebody else before he had a child by you?
I'm mad at the fact that he had an affair, and if another child was brought into this world from him, it should have been from me. I should have been the person to give him his second child, not his third.
So now who has to suffer? The child has to suffer because he made a mistake and didn't do it the right way?
Well, I'm going to suffer either way. I mean, I can't raise this little girl and look at this little girl and know that she came from an affair, a one-night stand because he was drunk.
Oh, is that what happened, Mr. Wentz?
No, that ain't what happened
Now I'm giving you the floor. Tell me about it.
Well, what happened was, you know, I mean, we was with a bunch of friends and everything happened, and I mean, yes, alcohol was
Now,
involved.
Mr. Wentz,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
were ready to talk. Now you
I am
into
ready to
this
talk.
everything happened and I mean and lingo.
Oh,
Talk
okay.
to me.
I'm sorry.
Tell me your side.
Well, anyway, it was on a weekend. Me and a couple of friends, we were at a friend of mine's house. We did have something to drink. Girls were there. One thing led to another, and
Ain't no one thing led to another. You laid up with somebody, took your little stuff out your pants and had sex. Talk
That's
about
right.
one thing led to another.
we
Didn't
had
lead to
sex.
anything.
Period. We had sex. Wasn't
All
no
right,
love
don't be
involved.
trying to
we had
sugarcoat
sex.
it. Yeah. Lust took over and you had sex.
He
Well,
wants a
we
child
had
that
sex.
wasn't made out of
And then
love.
what happened?
Hold on. This is my side now. You already had your flow. Let me have the flow. Okay. Now, the thing was, Yana, that we did have something going on. It was just like a menage a trois.
Just
Let's
having
get it all
fun.
out and open. That's right.
Didn't care what happened, didn't care what disease got spreaded, just
Well,
enjoying yourself and just...
No, it wasn't like that. I was safe. But
Oh,
true enough,
really?
yes,
you were
I
so
was.
safe the woman had a baby.
Well, then again, I can't be, you know, I'm not a surgeon general to tell you about what happens with rubbers when they break or
Oh,
what
the
happens.
old rubber pop story. Please spare me.
Well, I mean, you
that
know.
one is just as old as I am. Go on, tell me something else. Excuses, excuses.
Anyway, apparently something happened during that time,
Yeah,
the rubber
your
pop.
sperm got into her egg, they connected, and you conceived and had a baby. That's
true.
what happened.
This is America, Your Honor.
Yeah, sure.
Things happen. You know?
What? It sure is America, and things happen. And while you sitting there with a big smile on your face and think it's just so cute and it's so big time because things happen, yeah, things do happen like disease.
Well,
and
Your Honor-
just listen to me now.
Okay.
I'm talking.
All right.
And things happen when we don't take control of our bodies. And when we allow our little urges and lust to just control us to the point where no matter how many people it may hurt and no matter how many people we claim that we love, we don't care. You're an adult. You need to think about your actions before you get involved in them.
That's right. Well, Your Honor, you know, I was dealt that hand, so I had to play it. So if I do not take care of this
What does
child,
that
be
mean?
responsible
Just
to this
talk
child,
English.
who is this going to hurt? Who is it going to hurt? It's
So what
gonna
you're
hurt.
saying is now that you've determined that it's been determined that the child is yours, you're willing to
right.
be an adult
That's right. I got
and
the
accept
proof right here.
responsibility for the child.
That I am.
And you want the child to come live with you and your wife.
That I do.
Did you discuss that with her?
No, he did
No,
not.
I didn't, Your Honor. I tried. She gave me an ultimatum. Either I accept the child and leave her, or I do not accept the child and I keep my family. Well, I'm like this.
Wait
I
a minute,
want my
wait a
family.
minute. Mrs. Wentz, you suggested that he should deny the
He
child?
does-
That's right. She
He
gave
does
me an
not know this
ultimatum, Your
child.
Honor.
Hold on a second. You suggested that he should deny his child
That's
just
right.
to stay with you?
That's right.
This should have been his first daughter. I found out a week ago that this is going to be his second daughter.
You didn't even know that he had a child before?
He has a son, okay? But when
She
I
knew
got
about
pregnant,
that.
that's
Oh, so
that's
you
a-
knew he had a son before
Yes.
you became pregnant by him?
No, his son
But-
is almost 6 years old.
So,
I
I'm
knew
saying,
about
so
the
you
son.
knew about the son?
Exactly.
And that was okay?
But hold on,
That was
hold on,
okay.
hold
No,
on,
you
Your Honor.
hold on.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
That was okay because before I started to date him 5 years ago, I knew he had a son and I accepted that. I loved him and his
So
son.
how could you accept the son and not accept this other child?
Because this child was made
That's what
out
I'm
of a
saying.
one-night
That's my
stand.
point.
This child came
Exactly.
after me and him were together. Me and him have been together for five years. One of those years we have been married. And he wants, I can't accept a child that was just made out of a one-night stand.
Miss Wentz, what's the difference? It doesn't matter if the child was made out of a one-night stand or if the child was made out of a 5-year relationship or a 10-year relationship. It's still a child.
Well,
What
if he
is
were-
the difference that you can accept the child that's 6 years old, but you can't accept that you can't forgive that he went out there, had a baby, made a mistake, although he knew what he was doing, and now as a consequence of that infidelity, an innocent child is born into the world who now needs a mother and a father to care for her. You can't accept that? You can't bring this child and give the child love?
I cannot, not in my home. If he wants his child, he needs to give me my divorce and he needs to go and live with his mother
Well, that's
again.
what
So
you
then he
get.
can't be around this child
Sure get
Oh,
it.
well.
that you're carrying.
Well, my child will be just fine.
That's totally selfish. It's not my child. It's your child.
I'm going to be there regardless,
It's his child. Now, I can understand your pain, and I can understand your hurt, and I can understand your anger, but I don't understand you making a choice to say, if you want to be married to me and to be the father of the child I'm carrying, you have to ignore the other child for whom you're the father. That is not a real loving, caring spirit. And I think you're just angry now, and you're letting your anger override your clear rationality. I think that's what's going on. But I understand. I can't make you take this innocent child, but to destroy your... I mean, that's what marriage is. You have to forgive.
Thought about that before he laid down with somebody else.
I agree. What are you going to do? But you may transfer your anger and hatred over Mr. Wins to the child that you're now carrying that belongs to Mr. Wins.
No, because this is my child. I'm not going to hate my child because it's
Mrs. Wins, Mrs. Wins, let me explain something to you, because you said it 3 times. This is my child. This is my child. This is my child. That is not your child. It took 2 of you to make that baby. The baby belongs to 2 persons, a mother and a father. Like it or not, the fact that he had another child outside wedlock and on a one-night stand does not take away his fatherhood rights for the child you're carrying, and will not take away that right ever.
It'll be the same story as before. It'll be the same story as it is with his other one. He won't pay child support and everything like that, so might as well just be my child.
When divorce court returns, the judge gets tough with Eric.
If you love her so, and if you love your 6-year-old child so, why didn't you pay your own support so they wouldn't have to come knocking on your door and take your little behind to jail and she had to pay it?
Well, that's a good question, Your Honor.
I know it is. Now answer it.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com.
Diamonds, the gift that lasts forever. The Jewelry Factory in Norristown imports all their diamonds direct. They carry thousands of diamonds, most with GIA or EGL certs, and all at guaranteed lowest prices. 1-carat solitaires start at $5.99. The Jewelry Factory makes all their jewelry in their state-of-the-art factory and has hundreds of rings, bracelets, earrings, and invisible settings. Only the Jewelry Factory in Norristown guarantees all their jewelry to appraise for at least double, that's right, double the purchase price. Buy factory direct and save. The Jewelry Factory in Norristown.
We're here at Tom's house, the one with a brand new satellite dish he got by calling Bell Atlantic Video. Let's watch as Tom takes his direct TV system for a test drive. There he goes. He's picking up the remote. He's clicking. Wow. Yes! Now he's taking control with his interactive program guide. Look at him navigate. With so many choices from DirecTV, he's finding some programs he couldn't even get from cable for about the monthly cost of cable. And boy, does he love that digital quality picture and sound. Bell Atlantic even installed an antenna for his local stations. Wow.
Order DirecTV now. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call Bell Atlantic Video toll-free at 1-800-399-4388. There's no equipment to buy. You can rent it all. And Bell Atlantic takes care of delivery and installation. DirecTV service from Bell Atlantic. Let us entertain you.
Introducing Nacho Fiesta Chex Mix. Nacho cheese, savory spices, Chex Mix. Take snacking to extremes.
The principal gets a new attitude.
Principal Skinner?
Up yours, children.
Tonight at 7 on Fox Philadelphia.
All they do is talk, talk, talk.
I cannot hear both of you at the same time.
Well, she doesn't love me anymore.
All right. Joe, here, put a tissue in her mouth.
The next session of Divorce Court.
Divorce court is back in the case of Rita Wins, who's divorcing her husband Eric because he wants her to raise a baby he fathered from a one-night stand.
So you want to take your other child in?
Yes, I do.
But Mrs. Wynn says you got one that you're not paying child support for.
I've paid more child support on his son than he's ever
Hold on a
paid.
second. You have one that you're not paying child support for, and now you have another one that you're about to take in. You're not working and don't take care of him, and then she's carrying a third one. So why do you want this child?
Well, what does she mean by I'm not working? I'm working. I pay child support. It's true enough. I went to jail
I paid
for child support.
Hold on a second, Miss Wynn.
That's right. Please hold on a second.
Let me direct the traffic here.
I'm sorry. Okay.
How are you going to pay for another child you're about to bring in,
But
a
I did
6-year-old that you have a child support order for, and a new baby?
But the thing is, Your Honor, I did it. I didn't have a lot of money, true enough, but I did do it. I went through it. Like I said before.
You did do what?
I was a father.
Did you pay support?
Yes, I did.
Well, was Ms. Wynn saying that she had to pay support for your 6-year-old?
Every time, when he decides he doesn't want to work and doesn't work for a year, child support comes knocking on the door and takes him to jail. And they say you have to pay so much money. Because I love him and I loved his child, I did it for him. I have paid more child support than he has paid on his own son.
How much did you pay?
$2,700. If you love me, you should do it regardless.
If you love her,
then why'd I work 2 jobs while you didn't work none?
If you love her so, and if you love your 6-year-old child so, why didn't you pay your own support so they wouldn't have to come knocking on your door and take your little behind to jail and she had to pay?
Well, that's a good question, Your Honor.
I know it is. Now answer it.
That's the reason is.
Now answer it.
I wasn't working at the time, true enough.
Why
I was in college.
jobs?
I was in college.
Oh, you in college, so your wife is working and paying for your child support for the other child.
We weren't married then. We were just girlfriend and boyfriend.
But how much did you have to pay? Wasn't it a weekly payment?
He was supposed to pay $32 a week.
Let me see that pay.
And after so long, I've paid $1,200, and then again $500, $200, $300.
Hey, but she volunteered to do that. I didn't bend her arm and tell her, well, you pay this and you get me out of jail,
and
or I'm through.
And you're going to volunteer to pay her back?
No, I shouldn't pay that money back. What I'm paying that money back for?
Your wife has a valid question, although she doesn't want to take care of the child because she doesn't want to raise another woman's child that you had on a one-night stand. She does pose a very valid question. Why are you so excited about taking custody of this child that you now discovered is yours, and you put her in a home with your wife, and you, when you you don't pay support on a regular basis?
Well, that's my house, and that child will not. He'll live on the streets. That child is not coming into my house.
Ms. Wynn already heard you.
Right. Okay. Now, Your Honor.
Just answer my question.
Well, in a percentage, how much is love?
Love, as the song says, don't pay no bills.
That's true.
And he don't
Green
pay no bills.
pays bills, money. And you know the other song, I need money? That's what you need. Love and money go together. Well, so in the percentage of things, they 50-50. Love and the money. You got to do both.
It's 50-50.
One without the other is no good, especially when you're talking about a child.
Well, anyway, maybe I don't have a job that's consistent.
Well, you need to get one quickly.
But we don't know what the future might hold for me.
And you're going to get ordered to pay some support for this child coming. It's all well and good that you're about to take care of another one.
That's right.
But you're not going to neglect this one.
I'm not going to neglect none of them.
And now you said you didn't get an, oh, please stop the rhetoric, because this paper right here proves real clearly that you neglect them. So don't stand up here to me trying to act like Mr. Goody Two-Shoes. You're just talking. Yes, neglect.
How is that neglect? Because
you know,
a few times I failed to come up with the money, Your Honor. How is that neglect?
Mr. Wins, close your mouth. Because the more you talk, the more you sound like a fool. Now shut up. Okay? It's neglect because anytime you don't pay the support that's ordered under this order on a regular basis, that means that that child had $30 less per week in order for that mother to buy whatever the child needed, and don't say another word, okay? I'm through discussing with you.
Yeah.
Because now you want to stand up here and sound like, you know, you want to debate with me. I'm not on the debate team.
But that's not, I mean...
Did not say close your mouth.
But listen,
Did I say close your mouth?
Okay.
And I mean it.
I just wanted to make a point.
Joe.
Come here. Come on.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict. And an update on the case of Nanette Bernhard versus Dwayne Bernhard.
He was on top of her, Your Honor.
But did he have his clothes on?
I have no idea, really.
You didn't snatch the covers off?
No, I walked out.
This is my final plea. I am a gecko.
Not to be confused with Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At Geico Auto Insurance, we handle your claim quickly, so you don't have to bum a ride to work. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Divorce Court will be back in session in a moment.
Before the jury sits down, before the judge walks in, before the lawyers enter the courtroom, the paralegal's job begins. Gathering evidence, drafting legal documents, interviewing clients, all under the supervision of a lawyer. Because long before they go to trial, the paralegal goes to work. Call the PJA School at 1-800-RING-PJA to learn more about our certificate and specialized associate degree programs in paralegal studies.
Victim of a medical mistake? Look at me and listen. A careless doctor or nurse may be responsible for your present condition, and you may not even know it. I'm Alan Rothenberg, the injury lawyer. 1-800-624-8888. I uncover medical blunders, and I make those at fault pay you money. All the cash awards the law permits. See what money you may have coming. Call me right now. Alan Rothenberg, 1-800-624-8888.
A sale so big it's at 2 locations. Valley Forge Convention Center and the South Jersey Expo Center. Color TV, $79. VCRs, $49. Microwaves, $39. Satellites, $49 with free movies. CD players, $19. Car CD players, $39. 200-watt car empty kickers, $19. PlayStation and N64 games, $10. Clothing, jewelry, watches, perfume, and more to 70% off. Even toys. Friday noon to 10, Saturday 10 to 9, Sunday 11 to 6. The sale of the century.
Hey, did I grow yet? Am I taller? Nope. Are you sure? I better eat some more Kix.
Now Kix is a good source of calcium, as much calcium as the milk you pour on it. Kids need all they can get during the years when pediatricians say bones grow the most.
Anything now? I think a couple of centimeters. I thought so.
Kix, with more calcium than any leading kid cereal. Kid tested, mother approved.
Divorce Court is back and the verdict is in the case of Rita Wins, who says her husband Eric expects her to raise a child he fathered after a one-night stand.
You think he's cooled off?
Probably has your...
You have a chance to school him on the rules?
Oh, I think he was told what he needs to do.
All right, bring him back. See if he can keep his mouth closed. Because he has to be present when I make this order. Don't it won't be valid.
Trust me on this. Don't even open your mouth. Just listen to what she has to say.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Wins, did you listen carefully to Joe?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right. He's the nice one around here, so I'm not as nice. Here's the court's order, and it's not for discussion nor debate. So I just want you to listen. The money that Mrs. Wins paid for your other child to bail you out, that was your obligation, solely your obligation. You're ordered to reimburse her. I don't care if it takes you another 5 years. You're ordered to reimburse her. $2,700, your responsibility. Pay it back. The court's order is going to be for the support of the minor child that your wife is now carrying, $600 per month. Per month. Which means that you've got to earn at least $2,000 per month, and you can easily do that if you put yourself to it and you're forced to do it. And until you're forced to do it, you're not going to do it. Now, that's the order. Don't tell me. It's not effective until January 15th of 2000. It gives you time to go to a training school, to get some skills if you don't already have any, and to go look for jobs responsibly, knowing that I got to do this. Because she won't be there to purge you behind this one. And you will go to jail. And that's not what we need. I want this child to be able to survive, as well as the one that you're about to take custody of. And again, I applaud you for that. but you got to go to work. All right? That's the order of the court. Court's adjourned.
When Divorce Court returns, an update on the case of Nanette Bernhard versus Dwayne Bernhard.
What was the point of you being on top of the babysitter?
When he gets drunk, his other thing talks more than his brain does.
Why do people believe nothing works better than Alka-Seltzer Plus?
It just breaks up my nasal congestion so that I can finally breathe.
Only Alka-Seltzer Plus has the power of effervescence. It gets the medicine moving to break up your worst cold symptoms. Nothing breaks up your cold better.
A sensual revolution. Barely there. A bra that's there, but barely. Expect unencumbered comfort. Sensationally soft. Here, there, everywhere. New Barely There bras. Nothing feels better.
You want everything to be perfect, and it all goes by so fast. The one thing I didn't obsess about was my skin.
Dove keeps you softer, longer than the leading body wash.
I just wish my feet lasted as long.
Closed captioning for Divorce Court provided by...
A house is not a home until it's safe. The Brinks Home Security System. Just $49 installed in most markets. Call 1-800-GO-BRINK.
Leonard and Vernita Cox wanted to refinance their house. It took their bank 60 days just to return their call. So they called the money store. We paid their first mortgage, paid their second mortgage, paid all their credit cards, and got them back on track. Right away, they saved $600 a month. Would you like that kind of loan and that kind of help? Give us a call. If your bank won't help you, now you know who will.
The Money Store. 1-800-LOAN-YES.
Right now, there's a critical demand for professionally trained medical assistants, and CHI Institute can have you trained and job ready in less than 1 year.
The medical assistants here at the clinic and in my office are critical to the care we provide. We really do work as a team, and good medical assistants are hard to find. That's why when we find a quality MA like Cindy, we never let her get away.
Find out about a career as a medical assistant. Call CHI at 1-800-336-7696. That's 1-800-336-7696.
The law has made it more difficult to collect for your injuries. That's why so many people call me first. I'm Rand Spear, the accident lawyer, and I've earned a reputation winning big cash settlements for people just like you. I have the experience and know-how to get you every dollar you deserve. Even if you have limited tort, full tort, or just aren't sure what to do, call me now for free. Rand Spear at 1-800-90-LEGAL. That's 1-800-90-LEGAL. The right lawyer right by your side.
The holidays are filled with dreams of what good things may come overnight. And to help make those dreams come true, Best Buy has become an official sponsor of Toys for Tots. This season, share the excitement of the holidays. Reach out, give something of yourself, and help bring a little magic to life.
Don't mess with her.
She's the boss, applesauce.
Judge Judy, tonight at 5.
Tuesday at a special time. Has Sabrina's Melissa Joan Hart cursed that 70s show?
Eric Foreman's first suspension.
I'm so proud.
Then a new love. It was meant to be. And a tragic event that could take 2 lives. An all-new party of 5.
It all starts tonight at 8 on Fox Philadelphia.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Nanette Bernhard said she had the shock of her life when she found her husband Dwayne in bed with the babysitter.
He's on top of the babysitter. Oh, goodness, we're busted.
Nothing was going on, Your Honor.
He was on top of her, Your Honor.
But did he have his clothes on?
I have no idea, really.
You didn't snatch the covers off?
No, I walked out.
What was the point of you being on top of the babysitter?
When he gets drunk, his other thing talks more than his brain does.
You did something that you wanted to do that you probably didn't get the nerve to do it until you got a little alcohol.
He said it was over, and he said, get out, and I took off. Took off for 3 days. I come back. He's pressuring me. He's saying, have you thought, you want a divorce? Get the hell out.
Nanette said Dwayne refused to pay $30,000 in medical bills for their children, so she brought him to court. The judge ordered them to split the bills in half. Nanette has taken the children from Dwayne and is living with her new boyfriend. Dwayne says he hates Nanette for taking the kids and refuses to speak to her. The police have advised Dwayne that he cannot see his children until he files for custody. Dwayne plans on getting full custody of his children so they can be with him and his new girlfriend.
In divorce, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. But on Divorce Court, anyone can be a winner. Enter the Divorce Court National Enquirer sweepstakes, and you may win one of 5 brand new Chevrolet Malibus. To enter, log on to DivorceCourtTV.com or pick up this week's edition of the National Enquirer. Tell us what day you watch and the color of Maybelline's collar.
That's the order of the court.
Every day is a new chance to win. So watch all week and pick up this week's issue of the National Enquirer to find out all the exclusive details behind Rosie O'Donnell's baby secrets.
Court's adjourned.
With 18 available contours, the Dremel Contour Sander can give you a hand finish without the hand work. The Dremel Contour Sander. Hands just can't say enough good things about it.
America Online introduces new version 5.0.
5.0 is really easy.
It's even better than before. There's just a wealth of things that you can only find on AOL.
America Online. Sign up today.
Blech! That residue can't be sanitary. You need new Jet Dry. See? No spots, no residue. Sanitary.
New Jet Dry for sanitary dishes.
Well, our relationship is over. You know, I hope in due time that we can become friends for the children's sake.
I'm not sure at the time how I feel about the relationship. I mean, maybe he will, you know, be a father to my child.
In today's session of Divorce Court, Luana Banks says after 10 years she knows what she wants, and it's not Orlando.
She found somebody else, and she doesn't love me anymore.
I was still married to him, but I could not tell because my husband was never there. So then you decided it's time to replace. It's time to replace him. All right. In the 10 years, I guess you didn't find anybody else that, you know, rocked your boat like this one did.
But he says he's better off without her.
She never let me go anywhere. She was so jealous all the time. If I keep talking to you and looking at you long enough, she's probably going to get jealous in just a minute.
Now Luana Banks and Orlando Banks face off one last time before going their separate ways in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Orlando Banks versus Luana Banks. Now, I don't believe, and I think this is a typographical error, but the court notes say that you dated each other for 10 years, but you've been married a year and a half and now filed for divorce.
That's correct.
Yes,
Mrs. Banks, why, explain. That's phenomenal.
Your Honor, I came here to get a divorce because my husband, he was no good. He betrayed me and my kids.
That's just her opinion.
He left us home
Let me
alone.
listen to her opinion.
He left us home alone, hungry, with no means of taking care of ourselves because he asked me to
Banks,
be.
I'm going to let you talk. Don't interrupt her. He left you homeless, left you hungry. You're telling me he didn't work and provide food?
He worked, but he was not a provider because when he gets his check, he got paid on Fridays. He worked 7 days a week. He got paid on Fridays, and Friday night, he came home one Friday night, left us a pizza that he got from the pizza place next to his job. He left, and we hadn't seen him no more. He didn't go to work Saturday nor Sunday. I caught up with him that Monday when he went to work and come back again. The next weekend, it was the same thing.
Your Honor, we were
so he's a Friday night, a weekend man. He go away for the weekend.
He's a weekend man and
Honor,
come home broke Monday.
Mr. Banks,
and he cannot provide.
I cannot hear both of you at the same time. That's the last time I'm going to say it. Now, if you want me to hear this case, you will heed my warning. Because I won't hear it at all. Case will be dismissed with nothing decided.
Your Honor, when I came home on Fridays were payday. She would not let me leave out the door without giving her money, period, ever. Not even on payday. She never let me go anywhere. She was just so jealous all the time. She was so jealous all the time. if I keep talking to you and looking at you long enough, she's probably gonna get jealous in just a minute. But that's just how she was. I couldn't even leave.
So what are you telling me is
because
that...
on Fridays, I would leave on Friday. When I came home on Fridays, I had to give her money before I could even go out the door. Before I could walk out the door, she had to have some money. Okay,
well, what's wrong with that if you're coming home? Now you don't wait. Don't overtalk me.
Yes, ma'am.
Point is, you've been together a long time, and my point is, if you're with somebody for 10 years, they don't provide for you, they don't take care of you, they don't do anything for you, as you say, then what is the point of getting married and having a marriage certificate? What made you think that was going to change things?
Your Honor, I know now that's why I'm here, that it's not going to change.
No, but my question to you was, what made you think it was going to change things?
Because I love this man. I depended on this man for so long.
Depended on somebody who didn't take care of him. Mr. Banks, be
quiet.
I depended on him for a long time.
No, but I didn't
but you were able to depend on him without being married to him. But now you're telling me you couldn't depend on him because he left you homeless.
I married him to hopefully thinking that he would change. It would change him. This way he said to me.
Now that's the most ignorant sounding thing. I married him. I was with him for 10 years. He didn't do anything for me. He left me hungry. He left me homeless. He left me hungry. He was in and out of my life. But I married him because I thought then if I said I do, it would change. No, he said, you said I do, he said I won't. The same as he's been doing.
She said the key word, she depended on me for so long. And that didn't change.
On him, and just like
she depended on me for so long.
Well, explain your side. Why the marriage?
I loved her, and I still love her. I care for her. I still care for her. It's just that she found somebody else, and she doesn't love me anymore.
Oh, that's why it was only 2 months.
That's what the real problem is. Yes, ma'am.
No,
she found somebody else, and she doesn't love me anymore.
All right. I wish I had some tape.
I'm sorry.
So I just have to deal with her wanting to be with somebody else and not loving me anymore. I even came back. We call ourselves going to, during the separation, try to get back together.
So 2 months after you got married, she found somebody else?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you're telling me?
That's the way it went. That's the way it seemed to go. When I called home from work.
What do you mean way it went, it seemed to go? Give me some facts.
When I called home from work, she had somebody else and she still has them. When I called home from work, she stopped being at home in the daytime. I didn't know where she was.
So she was no longer there taking care of the kids?
Neither the house.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
I come home.
No, he's talking now.
I come home, the house is a mess. She hadn't cooked anything. She hadn't cleaned up. And if she was at home, usually she'd be laying in the bed.
And this is after you married her?
This was after we were married.
But before then, what did she do?
She worked. For a while, she worked. She worked some, and she cleaned up the house. She took real good care of the house.
So she was a good housekeeper before you married?
Yes, ma'am.
And she got up off herself and took care of the kids?
Well, we both took care of the kids. Usually, it was me getting them up, getting them ready for school because I woke up earlier to go to work.
But then, once you married her, you call home and she's gone during the day?
In the day, she's not home. Where were you?
And what was her answer?
With a friend, over some friends.
It's not funny.
It sure is not because he is telling a bald-faced lie, Your Honor.
Well, what were you doing?
First of all, he left me because he never, like I said, he didn't come home on the weekends. He left
Now, Miss Banks, hold on a second. I'm going to tell you straight out. I'm not going to even play any games with you. Your story just doesn't make
Your Honor. Would you please just let me tell you that this man, before...
You're going to shut up and listen to me for a minute.
Okay.
Because I want you to try to think about what you say before you say it.
Okay.
Because what you're telling me now, I'm going to tell you, I just don't believe it. Because it just doesn't make good, logical, common sense to me. And I'm sorry, I just use logic, okay? And I rely on common sense a lot. Sorry about that. But to be with somebody for 10 years, that's not doing anything for you, that leaves you homeless, that leaves every weekend, doesn't take care of you, is no good to you, and then suddenly you say, but we're going to get married. For better or for worse, which means even if you leave me homeless, and even if I don't have much money, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, and then 2 months later, you're out of there. I'm not buying that it's because he left you homeless and he didn't take care of you and because he wasn't providing for you. You got to come up with something else.
Your Honor, not only that.
No, be quiet, Mr. Banks. I'm on Miss Banks now.
He could not have left. He left me. Why I say he left me homeless? I had an apartment which he caused me to lose.
That was within 2 months of the marriage.
No,
that
was
was
about
prior to the marriage.
I'm not talking about prior to the marriage. Stay with me.
That's why I'm saying he left me homeless.
Stay with me.
Your Honor.
No. Yes, I'm your honor. I know my title. I know what you're saying, and I hear you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Okay.
No, stay with me in space and time.
When divorce court returns, Orlando testifies about Luana's spiteful behavior.
Somebody busted window out of your car.
Yes, ma'am.
So who's the man that's breaking out his windows, Miss Banks?
I have no idea.
Her boyfriend now, she knows.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourttv.com.
Who's got the right to tell welfare moms to get off welfare and get a job? I'll tell you who. Me. I used to be on welfare. Now I work at this store. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, I was scared. But I did it. And if I can, you can.
Get a job and get control of your life. Call 215-567-JOBS and find out how.
Come on, you can do it.
Before I lost the weight, I was in maternity.
You can do it.
Before I lost the weight.
Come on, you can do it.
Before I lost the weight, I was in maternity clothes, and now I am a size 7. I lost 57 pounds in 9 months.
LA Weight Loss, revolutionizing the way people lose weight.
I dropped 1 full dress size in 1 week.
I lost 53 pounds in 11 months, and I feel great. I'm able to shop in great stores.
If it worked for me, it could work for anyone.
Lose weight for the new year, only $4 a week. Call LA Weight Loss for your free consultation. 1-800-526-SLIM.
Computer Learning Center's accelerated program taught me the right computer skills, fast.
Call Computer Learning Centers.
I needed to take charge of my life. That's why I called Computer Learning Center.
Call Computer Learning Centers.
Computer Learning Center gave me the knowledge and confidence to pursue a computer career.
For a brochure, call Computer Learning Centers today at 1-800-CLC-3393. One phone call can change your life.
Until the day your cat can do this. The next best thing is Scoop Away. One quick scoop and it's gone.
Did you wash your hands?
Introducing a Summer's Eve made just for you. New Summer's Eve lubricating jelly with natural lubricants and pH balanced. Summer's Eve, enjoy being a woman.
Danya, check it out. The Mike Douglas is coming here tomorrow.
Plus, Cisco of Drew Hill is here to perform his latest release. Got to get it tomorrow on Good Day.
On the next session of Divorce Court, it's a story you won't believe.
Your husband was a pimp?
Yes.
I'm a gentleman of leisure. I think I'm the CEO of my own business.
The next session of Divorce Court.
Divorce court is back in the case of Luana Banks, who says after being with Orlando for over 10 years, she now realizes he's not man enough for her.
What proof do you have that she found somebody else?
One night I was there. One day I was there. We called ourselves going to get back together. I'm over there. My car's out front. We're in the house, laying down in the bed, sleeping. My daughter comes to the bedroom door, say, Dad, I know you're going to be mad, but somebody just busted the windows out.
Somebody busted the windows out of your car?
Yes, ma'am. Busted the windows out of my car. So I'm like, well, who would do something like that? I'm in here sleeping. First, I thought it was one window. Then I just lay back down. I said, okay, I'll just get the window replaced, tomorrow. So she said, now you need to get up and go and check your car and maybe cover your window. So I get up and go out the door. My passenger window, my rear glass window, and my driver's window burst out. So
all of the windows just about?
So all of them except my windshield. So someone in the department said his name. I'm like, that's the guy you were, who you say was, who you know was a friend. I said, but why would a friend come and burst my windows? I never even knew what he looked like at the time.
But you had heard the name?
I had heard the name, yes, ma'am.
So the neighbors told you it was that person
yes,
who had broken out your windows?
Yes, ma'am. And then come to find out after that, so I decided, this was the day I said, well, I wanted to be with her, wanted to be with my kids, but I'm like, I can't be coming home and my car's out in the front and can't get peace of mind and go to sleep in here.
At your own house?
At my own house, because I'm worried about what some lunatic gonna do to my car.
So who's the man that's breaking out his windows, Miss Banks?
I have no idea.
Her boyfriend now. She knows her boyfriend now.
I'm not talking to you now.
Your Honor.
Who's the man breaking out his windows?
Yes, I do have a friend now.
You have a friend now?
I have a friend now.
Did you have him a few months ago?
After my husband left for the last time, the last weekend that he left.
Yes, ma'am.
The last weekend that he left, Your Honor, I told him he could not come back. When he said his car windows got bust out, that was after he attempted to come back to me, which he already knew.
To try to get back together.
It was no agreement, Your Honor.
So by then you had already found somebody else?
I had a friend.
A male friend?
A male friend.
All right, you want to put it nicely. You had found a male friend.
I found a male friend.
Somebody else. So that's what happened then. After those 10 years of putting up with that, you finally found somebody else who, on one of his weekend excursions,
yes, that's correct.
That person you thought was like, okay, now it's time to replace him.
On one of his weekends out.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's correct.
And she was still married to me.
And then
I was still married to him, but I could not tell because my husband was never there.
So then you decided it's time to replace
It's time to replace him.
All right, there it is right there.
Okay.
Don't start telling me all of a sudden about, you could do it for 10 years. You could do it for 10 years. You can certainly do it for 2 months after marriage. But in the 10 years, I guess you didn't find anybody else that, rocked your boat like this one did. Right?
That's correct.
So then you were open to a new relationship because you were really grown tired of that
I was
before
tired,
the 10 years.
I was tired of him dogging me.
Okay, Yana, now my question is, in all that, we've been separated now almost a year. She ran up a $300 bill on a credit card that belonged to me just in August.
She ran up a $300 bill since you've been separated from her?
Since we've been separated.
How did she get your credit card?
I didn't know she had one. It's in both of our names. I didn't know she had it slipped my mind doing all the other things I had to take care of that she had it.
That she still had it?
Yes, ma'am.
And what she uses $300 for?
Your Honor, it was a mutual decision because my oldest daughter, her birthday was coming up and it was time for school. He had lost his job, okay? He had no job. I had no job. We got a credit card with a $300 limit on it. We got a birthday coming up.
We did not get anything.
And we have school coming up. We have to get school clothes.
And I was still working at that time.
So
I took
Mr. Banks, be quiet.
On her birthday, a gold chain.
Mr. Banks.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I did, Your Honor. Use the credit card. I bought shoes for my kids. I bought party supplies for my daughter, for my daughter's birthday party, and I put gas in my car.
So you used the credit card for the benefit of the children and yourself?
Correct. That's correct.
And did you tell him before you used it or after you used it?
It was a mutual decision for me to use the card because that was all the income that we had at the time.
All right, Mr. Banks, what you say about that?
No, ma'am. It was not a mutual decision for us to use it, and I was still employed, gainfully employed at that time.
Were you giving her money for the children?
Yes, ma'am, I was giving her money for the children.
Any proof of that?
I gave her cash. She knew I gave her cash. I never gave her, and we had an agreement, and she know I did. I've always given her cash.
Well, she's never said you've lost your job.
Well, she said I lost my job, but on my daughter's birthday, she's attributing this to a birthday. No, on my daughter's birthday, I came and gave my daughter a gold necklace and a gold bracelet to match the necklace.
So you had already bought her a gift?
I had already bought her a gift. Why would I tell her to go and incur other charges on me? And we were already separated.
Do you acknowledge that the card was used a year and a half after you had separated?
Your Honor, yes. I gave this man 10 years of my life. And he gonna tell me I owe him $300?
You gave each other 10 years of your life.
That's right.
I gave him 10 years of my life. I'm the one sit at home at night looking at my window wondering, is my husband gonna come home to me?
I'm the one
Well, you didn't give him 10 years of your married life. The married life was only 2 months.
It was his fault. He should have been the husband that he...
Miss Banks, I already told you I wasn't buying that one. Okay. And you still trying to sell me that wolf ticket. I'm not buying it.
Okay.
Court's adjourned. I'm going to take a break.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict.
I think somebody told you all that if you go in there and tell that judge anything, she'll believe it because she was just born last night.
And an update on the case of Shantivia Peterson versus Sean Peterson.
So she's a shopaholic.
Yeah, I do go shopping. Yes, I do.
That's cutting it short, Your Honor.
What else would you call it?
The equivalent of Ivana Trump.
Mr. Gecko. This is my final plea. I am a gecko, not to be confused with Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At Geico Auto Insurance, we handle your claim quickly, so you don't have to bum a ride to work. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Divorce court will be...
If you've been hurt by anything, a car accident, a fall, a doctor, a hospital, you may be entitled to a large cash award. To find out, call 1-800-LAWYERS right now. The call is free, the advice is free, and we stay open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're open New Year's Eve at midnight. So call 1-800-LAWYERS. We're there right now to answer all your questions absolutely free.
Call it mother's intuition, but I knew something was wrong, even during delivery. Our son Eddie has cerebral palsy. Why did this happen to us? Who will pay his medical bills? Who's going to take care of Eddie when we're gone? We needed answers.
I'm Larry Korn. Your child may qualify for a lifetime of care. Find out what really went wrong. The call is free. The review is free. For help and hope, call 1-888-4MY-CHILD.
A sale so big, it's at 2 locations. The Valley Forge Convention Center and the South Jersey Expo Center. Remote car alarms, $19. Cordless phones, $15. Answer machines, $10. Motorola pagers, $19. Color TVs, $79. VCRs, $49. Detachable car stereos, $19. Leather jackets, $39. Leather wallets, $5. Leather purses, $10. Briefcases, $19. Levi's, Calvin Klein, FUBU, DKNY, Hilfiger, Lugs, Nike, Fila, even Pokemon, and Beanie Baby. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The sale of the century.
This is the sale you've been waiting for. America's Best Eyeglass Clearance Sale. 2 pairs of designer or brand name eyeglasses with lenses and a doctor